Assalamu alaikum girls. Welcome to another recorded lesson where we are continuing chapter 9. Last time we did section 9.1 and now we are continuing with section 9.2. Chapter 9 is a pretty simple and straightforward chapter. So this is all you would need to know in this chapter. Today we are discussing some of the legal, moral, ethical and cultural appreciation aspects of audience appreciation. So the objectives for this lesson is we need to be able to explain the need for copyright legislation and the principles of copyright, and we will describe some methods that software makers employ to prevent software copyright being broken, and we will discuss some legal, moral, ethical and cultural implication issues. So as success criteria for this lesson, you must try to be able to list what are the principles of software copyright, be able to describe that software producers employ some methods to prevent software copyright from being broken, and as a challenge you could also discuss the legal, moral, ethical and cultural implications. So as a starter, let's try to think what is software copyright. We've come across the word copyright before. Copyright means some laws that protect your data, right? And when we say software copyright, it means these are the laws that protect your software from being illegally copied and distributed. These are some of the rules that come under software copyright. That software should not be copied, sold or given away. Its software should not be used on a network of more users than you have paid for it. So for example, if you've bought a Microsoft Office subscription for 5 users, it should only be used by 5 users. Renting out is illegal. Stealing code from the software is illegal. So maybe you are somebody who's trying to make a program that is similar to Microsoft Word. You cannot hack into Microsoft Word and take their code and use it in your software. This would be illegal. And also you cannot use the name, copyrighted name of any software on your own product. So you cannot make another product with the same name as Web Expression 4, for example. What is the need for software copyright legislation? Why do we need these laws? Because software also needs to be protected like videos and books. Just because it's digital does not mean that it does not need protection. In fact, because it is digital, it is very easy to download it illegally from the internet and make copies without the permission of the actual owner. This is why we have legislation, we have laws that exist to prevent people from downloading or copying or distributing it for free, because then you as the person who made the software would not benefit from it. Now what is software piracy? Software piracy means that you are going against the software copyright, which means the software copyright, which is supposed to prevent you from downloading, copying and borrowing, you are actually doing it without the permission of the original owner. So if this does happen, that is somebody copies or borrows or steals your software, how can we prevent it? How can we prevent software piracy from taking place? 4 methods are listed here: using a product key with your software, having license agreements before people download your software, using holograms on your software, using a dongle plugged into a USB port. So let's look at each of these in detail. A product key means that when your software is being installed, the users will be asked to enter a unique number. This will prove that the software is actually original. So when you sell your software as a software maker, you will supply the product key along with the original copy of the software, and this software will get installed only if you enter the correct product key. So product keys, for example, are given like this in numbers or barcodes, and this can be used to verify that the copy of the software is original. You can see an example of entering a product key here. There is a guy, he is trying to install a design tool, and it asks him what is the name registered under and what is the serial number. So he puts in those values including the registration name and serial number, and then the software installs perfectly. So if he did not enter these details, it would not have installed. Another way you can protect your software from being pirated is by having a license agreement. License agreement means when your software is being installed by somebody, you will inform them exactly how they are allowed to legally use this product, and only if they agree to that agreement you will allow them to install the software. So agreeing to the terms of use before installing the software is another way that you can prevent software piracy. And if once somebody has agreed to this and then they do the wrong piracy things like copying or distributing your software, then you can take legal action against them. So this is the second way you can protect your software. The third way is by using holograms. Hologram means if they are like colored things on the packaging of the software, and this indicates that the copy of this software is actually a genuine one. So if you have seen some installation CDs like this, they would have holograms on it to make sure that this is the actual copy coming from the company. And a software without a hologram will usually be an illegal copy, because hologram is actually costly to implement and make and copy. You can see another example of a hologram on a CD here. This is a CD and it has a hologram. See, something is written here. This shows that this is an actual CD coming from the actual manufacturer. If somebody made a pirated CD, that would not have these details on it. So this is how we know that the CD was from the actual manufacturer. Now what we can do is we will match some flashcards with questions and answers that will cover some of the topics that we have covered in last lesson and this lesson. So let's play this matching game. You have cards over here that you need to match out. So for example, this card says the age of the target group, their experience, and we know these are the things to keep in mind when you make ICT solutions for the audience. So this matches with this. Then it's asking what is the need for copyright legislation, so that could go with this. It asks about culture, so culture is the attitudes of a society or people. Why solutions must meet the needs of the audience, because they will be the ones using it. Discuss the cultural implications, some cultures may find some difficult, examples used, examples. So you will also be given the link to play this game. Now going back to our slides, we are going to now discuss the last topic in this chapter 9, which is the legal, moral, ethical and cultural appreciation issues. So when you create an ICT solution, you have to take care of 4 things. What are the legal issues, what are the morality issues, what are the ethical issues, and what are the cultural issues. When we say a legal issue, this is any issue that is covered by the law. So if you do it, it can be legal or illegal. So that means, for example, copying a software illegally and sending it is a legal issue. A morality issue is an issue that governs private and personal interactions of people. So for example, when you set up a fake website to deceive others, this is not illegal, nobody will put you in jail for it, but this questions your morality level. Ethics means you are governing the professional interaction practiced in a society. So for example, you are working in a company as a software developer and you leak information to their other company, which is like their rival, which is their competition, and give them ideas of what's happening in this company. So this is an ethical issue. A cultural issue is when people in different cultures understand the aspects of your software differently. For example, certain words are okay to use in one culture but not okay to use in another culture. Certain games may mock religion and so on. These are things to keep in mind when you plan your audience software. The homework for this week is that you will have a worksheet on software copyright and privacy. This will be uploaded on Teams and will be due for you to submit. As plenary, try to pause the video and think of one thing you remember from today's lesson, or fill out one of these sentences here. For example, today I have learned that, and try to think of one thing you've learned. Also, in this PowerPoint for this lesson, I have given you some extra resources that you can use for practice. Other than the cards of Quizlet, you have a BBC quiz, and you can solve the exercise from the textbook, page 168. These are some extra resources for you. That's all for today, girls. Hope chapter 9 was an easy one for you. It is the shortest chapter in your book. That's all for today. Assalamu alaikum.